Have you ever seen what a traditional whole life insurance policy looks like compared to a policy designed for maximum cash? Well, by the end of this video, you will know exactly what one looks like because we're going to show you the numerical breakdown step by step. My name is Carmen.
And I'm Darius.
For the best infinite banking and financial advice, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notifications bell so that you're notified when we post new videos.
Now, what you're going to see in this video today is, just like Carmen said, simply a traditional whole life insurance policy next to a policy with a paid up addition rider added to it. The only thing we want to get across today on this video is just so you can see that difference of a whole life insurance policy traditionally that we're most used to, designed for max death benefit, next to one that we utilize for the concept that we teach.
Yes.
So we're not going to be doing anything fancy. We're not going to be adding any term. We're not going to be playing with the numbers, doing the 10-90 splits and
playing with the ratios.
Exactly. We're just going to show you a traditional whole life insurance policy next to one with the paid up addition rider.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Carmen here. What I wanted to do today was to be able to break down a base-only policy and compare it to a base and a paid-up additions cash value policy, because I realize we talk a lot about both, but we haven't ever broken it out before. So hopefully you find value in this video today so that you can see exactly what it is that we talk about. So let me break down everything that you see on the screen. I realize there are a ton of numbers. So right now on the left-hand side, if you can see my cursor, we're going to call this policy 1. And policy 1 is a base only policy. What do I mean by base only? Is this is a traditional whole life policy. So if you notice, this is a $20,000 policy, and $20,000 is only buying death benefit. So in this case, $20,000, the majority of this money has been put into the base section of this policy, which is the death benefit. That's why Darius, in this case, we ran this policy on him, has a little over $2 million in death benefit. Now you'll notice right here in the toolbar, this policy is going out to 121 years old. And again, this is being paid $20,000 every single year, and it is a non-MEC policy. Now let's compare it to policy number 2. Policy number 2, we have another $20,000 premium. It's going out until years 121. However, the difference between this policy is we adhered to a 40-60 split. What do we mean by that? 40% of this $20,000, or $8,000, bought Darius $851,717 worth of death benefit. So we split this up into two pieces. And the rest of the money, the 60%, or $12,000, bought paid up additions. And that's why you see the majority of the paid up additions is here in the paid up additions cash value. So again, just to reiterate, the difference between policy 1 and policy 2 is that policy 2 has a paid up additions rider on it. There's no additional costs to Darius. All we did was wrap the paid up additions rider inside the premium so that it all wasn't buying him death benefit. And then over here, with this Excel sheet, I have done all the math for you so that you understand exactly what's going on. So let me break out the Excel sheet really quickly because I'm going to go side-by-side comparison with these policies so that you understand what the numerical breakdown is. So in this column here, column B, you'll notice that I have base plus PUA. Now, the reason why I have that is because I'm doing the math for you for policy 2. Because policy 2, we have two components to this now. We have the base cash value, and as you see, there's no cash value in years 1 and 2, very similar to policy number 1. So now, when we add a paid up additions rider onto this, we're going to add both columns together to determine what our cash value availability is. So I thought it was important for you all to be able to see what the numbers are and not have to do the math yourself. So if you see in year 1, I'm just going to click on the cell so you can see the math that I've done here in the formula to keep me honest. I've added 0 plus 11,492 and so on and so forth. So again, just important for you guys to see the numbers that I did. So basically what we're saying is that in year 5 with policy 2, you have $83,178 of cash availability. Now in column D, this is going to subtract the cash value availability from policy 2 and policy 1. That's all these numbers are dictating here, is just the difference in cash value for each policy. And then over here in column F, I have overall deposits. So we consider your premiums as deposits. So we're saying in year 5, you have deposited $100,000. In year 2, you've deposited $200,000, and so on and so forth. Now that you see the cash value availability inside a policy designed for maximum cash, check out our video, 10 ways to use infinite banking, after this video so that you can understand how you would apply this money. And comment below and let us know what kind of policy you have. Do you have a traditional whole life insurance policy, or do you have a policy designed for maximum cash? So let's go ahead and break everything out, because it's important that you all understand how adding a paid up additions rider can change the cash value within a whole life insurance policy. So let's just go every 5 years. I think it's easier to compare it that way. So in 5 years, policy 1 has $54,198 of cash value availability. Now check this out. In year 5, the base and PUA policy has $83,178. The difference between these two are $28,980. This is the difference between policy 1 and policy 2. So just adding a paid up additions rider increases your cash value by $28,000. Now let's jump to year number 10. Year number 10 goes by. This policy number 1, has $170,465 available. Policy 2, remember we're going to add these two columns together. So this gives us $202,364 available. The difference between policy 1 and 2 is $31,899. Now, let's talk about your break-even period, because keep in mind, I am only talking about the guaranteed sides. The dividends increase the cash value, but today all we want to do is talk about your guarantees. So if you look at the overall deposits, the total amount of money Darius has contributed to either policy, you'll notice that with both policies, he's contributed $200,000, because all I did was 20,000 times 10. So in policy 2, he has broken even at this point because he has $202,000 available in this policy. Whereas in policy number 1, he has yet to break even because he's just shy of $200,000 in this case. Now, year 10 is typically the break-even period that we like to see. It can happen sooner, absolutely, depending on the age and the health of the individual, but 10 years max should be the break-even point, where your cash value is equal to or greater than your deposits by year 10. So let's keep going. In year 15, we have $302,777 available. And then we're adding these two columns together. So in year 15, we have $340,251. And now the difference between these two policies is $37,474. I'm realizing that you all are probably getting the gist of this breakdown, but again, nonetheless, we're going to go 30 years out so that you can see the difference. And you'll see at this point, Darius has contributed $300,000 into this policy. We're well over the break-even part here in year 15 for the base and PUA policy. However, we have just broken even, 15 years in, and we have just broken even in this traditional whole life policy. Now year 20 goes by. We have $454,688 available, and then we have $500,012 in policy number 2. The difference is $45,344, and at this point we have contributed $400,000 into this policy. So now with both of these policies, we are well over the break-even point when we add together the cash value. Now year 25 comes around. In a traditional policy, you have $621,077, whereas in policy 2, you have $678,692, and the difference is $57,000. And again, at this point, you have contributed $500,000. So we're keeping everything moving. Again, I'm not sharing any biases, any opinions. I'm just sharing with you the numbers because it's important for you all to take this information, digest it, and figure out what you want to do with this information. In year 30, by this point, in the traditional whole life policy, policy 1, we have $799,635. And in this policy, policy number 2, We have $874,688 available, and the difference at this point is $75,033. And oops, I did not put in the overall deposits. Forgive me. And by year 30, you have deposited $600,000. Now, why is this information important to you? We think that it's important for you to know how a traditional whole life insurance policy performs versus a policy that has a paid up additions rider on it. Just so again, you can know this information in order to be able to make informed decisions. Now, for those of you who may have a traditional policy designed more like this and you're thinking, wait a second, I want a paid up additions rider, don't freak out. Just reach out to Darius and I. We can totally work with you to see what your best options are if you want more cash value or if you want to start additional policies. The main thing that we're just sharing with you is that with whole life, you have the ability to not only be able to maintain a death benefit, but you have the availability of the cash value. If you have a term policy, all you have is death benefit. There are no other additional features to you, which is why Darius and I prefer whole life insurance policy, because we want to be able to use these policies while we're living. And we throw a paid up additions rider on our policies personally and on our clients' policies because it's important for us to have maximum cash value. The death benefit is always secondary in this case, but as you notice, the death benefit still isn't shabby. The main part for us is all of this cash value that we are going to be using to create cash flow for ourselves and for our family, so that we can leave even more money in addition to this death benefit behind for the next generation.
I hope you found this information very valuable, and it helps with your understanding of how a traditional whole life insurance policy is compared to one that you just add a paid up addition rider to it. Now, if you like this information, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to be notified when we post new videos, and make sure you share it with a friend.
And also, if you like what you saw today, then click on the link below to become our client so that we can help you create a policy designed for maximum cash value.
And remember to own your own lifestyle,
or someone else will.